All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. So Aaron is here with me again, and we had a conversation about I want to say 2 months back, maybe 3 months at this point. But Aaron joined me for a conversation, and we discussed. Well, the video was called "Are Latinos Passport Bros?" But honestly, we're not that basic, so we went into much more heavy topics beyond that, just in general, like why people and why Latinos and why younger men go back to our roots, our countries, and to explore them and to move to them. Right? We go into deep reasons, dating, the economy, touch on the passport bro movement a little bit. Anyways, it was a great video. I'll put the description up here, or the link. And so Aaron gives his backstory as well, you guys, in that video. So neither of us are gonna go into our stories unless it's relevant here in this conversation we're gonna have, which Aaron's actually gonna lead here in a moment. But I just want to give just some quick updates, man, just for my channel and my life, because my channel is my life pretty much. And so I am 11 days, yeah, 11 days out from Paraguay. Um, I still have to get rid of some stuff here. My place is an absolute mess right now. I'm trying to get the last thing sorted and getting out of the door. Man, dude, I mean, it's so much like there's gonna be hidden costs, you guys, that like are gonna pop up at the very end, like extra pet stuff for my guy who's getting like shipped all over, basically around the world just to get to where he needs to be. uh but yeah, just to keep that in mind, you guys. And like I'm gonna have a couple extra suitcases, and like I don't, depending on your airline, that might add up as well. For me, it'll be like 600 for like the few extra suitcases I need to bring. I just bring that up, you guys, because there's so many things at the end that like you're gonna have to account for. Okay, so that's me. And I am going to pass it out to Aaron here, and he's going to give updates because Aaron has his own channel, and I'm going to put that wherever on the screen for you guys. Aaron just started his first his new YouTube channel, and it's, what is it, Aaron? The Hispanic Expat.
Yeah, yeah. I had a different name. I put Aaron Expat, but like me and Ryan had mentioned, well, we had talked about it. We're like, you know, I like putting our name or making it sort of the same as other people, but I ended up changing it to the Hispanic Expat. So it's gonna be more. I mean, I'm gonna be trying to post at least like once a week or once every 2 weeks, just depending. But I already put my first video there. It's just gonna be more so just like things about regarding like second passports, because in my case I have a second passport. Kind of following my journey as far as traveling eventually. Also right now, as of lately, the last 2-3 weeks, within this last month, I got into a private group with his name. He goes by the name The Digital Doormat. His name is Austin, and he's in the Philippines right now. So I've actually had calls with him. I've had 2 calls with him recently, and I have another call scheduled with him this week. But it's a private group of about 100 of us in that group, and basically it's to assist and to share, to collaborate with other guys that are in the same boat as far as they're already remote, or like myself, that I'm working towards getting into remote work, or at least semi or hybrid remote work. There's guys right now that are there that are in Vietnam. Austin's in the Philippines. Some people are in Latin America, but it's a really good environment because they're obviously helping you with one aspect of it, which is like remote work. And I hope to get into remote work soon. But right now, with the way the economy is, it's a little bit more challenging. I might have to delay that, the next several months or within the next year. I've had some interviews, believe it or not. I've had some interviews for on-site roles. So it's just taking it step by step, taking it day by day. But yeah, that's gonna be my new channel as well. It's gonna be kind of like similar to Ryan as far as like personal, just kind of share my thoughts on what it is to have, what it is to have, a second passport or looking into second citizenship, which I wanted to show as well to the audience, right? Because I am a dual citizen. So like just trying to make those things happen. Things pertaining to travels, finance. I mean, just really, I want to expand on it more so eventually. But yeah, but I mean, I'll throw it back to Ryan because I know, this being his channel, it's good to follow up with him because me and him we talk outside of these videos. I mean, we'll follow it up and stuff. He's literally like 2 weeks away from going to Paraguay, so that's like really really inspiring to hear like that he's pretty much gonna make that move. It's gonna happen. But I'm just wishing him all the best, and I'm wishing that everything goes smooth, everything goes well. There'll be some bumps on the road, I imagine, but it's gonna be an experience for sure. And my plan, hopefully, I've told him as well, even if it's like a week or a 2 week trip, out there to Paraguay, that's what I hope to do eventually. So,
Yeah. Hey, well, thanks for that update, man. And yeah, I got to remind you guys that Aaron's 26 years old, you guys. So when I was 26, I was fucking up. You know what I mean? Aaron's over here making big moves and stuff. So like be like him. Be like him in your younger years, your youngest years that you are. Take these steps, and I talked about in my last video. And I didn't really mention this in any of my first ones, but it's becoming more and more urgent, you guys, to get on these steps, to pursue residency. You don't know, and you don't want to play around years from now thinking that they're going to be the same requirements, whether it be Mexico, Paraguay, Colombia, Philippines, it doesn't matter. Try to get on this stuff now because this stuff is becoming more and more accessible and more popular. So, keep on this stuff. Whether it's just saving that money, just saving that money, then get your trip, and then do your residency, and then do all that. You know what I mean? So yeah, you guys. And here I don't have a passport, so I'm not as cool as Aaron. I have my residency card. Oh man, my place is best. I think here I'll show you guys. Oh, I think I found it. But I won't show my name and all that, but so like I got my Paraguayan ID card and all that. That's what it looks like. Cedula.
it's nice.
Yeah, man. And so that was my trip last September. I dedicated all my time that I needed. I didn't need that much time to do it, but hell, I spent a month down there. Didn't know how much I was gonna have to do. I got it within a week. I hopefully it'll go really fast for you guys when you guys get down there. Those are things I'm gonna be talking to my lawyer about, like, what's the realistic fastest way we can do this stuff for you guys. Yeah, so that's where I'm at, and yeah, so stay on Aaron's channel, you guys, too. I mean, he's gonna be bouncing around the world more than I am. I picked my country, and my country is where I'm from. But I'm not gonna be probably doing as much traveling as a lot of you guys who have these kinds of channels. I'm pretty much Paraguayo. Want to say in Paraguay. Might get a little bit out to like Argentina. Might go a little bit to Brazil. Probably not Bolivia. I'm just not really interested in driving up in the mountains. I'm scared as fuck of the mountains. Especially some of those roads.
That's where you gotta chew the cocoa leaves to not get lightheaded, from what I've heard.
Yeah. Like Chile, man, I would love to go to Chile. It's just expensive as shit. So, I gotta save up more money for that. So that'll probably be like in a year for me. But whatever, man. Like once you're in these regions, like I mean, you can even get relatively cheap plane tickets too, like 300, and then you're in like Santiago, or like 200, and then you're in like Sao Paulo, fucking whatever. Then same for like Buenos Aires.
Mhm.
They're super. Like I think when I did my short flight from Sao Paulo to Asuncion, it was like an hour and 45 minutes or some shit like that. So I mean, cheap plane tickets is very close relatively once you are settled in Paraguay, and that's one thing that Austin Holloman, um, he really likes the centralization, right? Because you can just like don't like bounce anywhere you want on a plane ride like around Latin America. So yeah, man. So yeah, that's where I'm at, and so Eric's gonna lead this conversation here for us. And I don't think I have too much else to say besides that. Besides just the urgency aspect, check out my last videos, you guys. Check out the videos. Aaron's gonna be putting out more on his channel than I have been. But I am gonna be putting out quite a bit, even several per week probably when I am down there in 11 days. So stay tuned, you guys. And I actually got a wedding I'm going to. My cousin, little cousin's wedding. He's a soccer player. He plays for Sportivo Trinidense. It's a league down there, uh, a pro soccer team down there. He's a young cat. He's 20 years old. His older brother is my cousin as well, Saul Salcedo. He plays for Olympia. So I'm gonna try to catch a soccer game, and you guys are gonna be like, God damn, man, yeah, y'all get down, huh? There might be some fights in the street, but I'm not gonna. But you know what I mean? To like catch that to the side, like sit down and slap. But anyways, all right, man. I'm gonna stop fucking around. I'm gonna let Aaron start us off with the important stuff.
Yeah. No, I mean, definitely it's fun to hear that. Yeah. And so, yeah, I mean, just, I guess some things I think would be cool to cover. I think similar to what we covered like in the last video, is like the statistics that I found as far as like with the US right now with like rent and stuff. So there was one that I actually um did find, and this was actually on a Instagram page. But the it's from Visual Capitalist. So I thought this was really crazy because me myself being from California, specifically I'm from the Imperial Valley, which is about 2 hours east of San Diego, more in the interior of California. If you guys know, for any of you guys that are watching or who may not know where that's at, just if you guys know where Coachella is, right, where the famous Coachella Music Festival is, right? They actually just had it this year in April. So I'm about where I'm situated. It's about an hour and a half south, right, in the Salton Sea, in the Pearl Valley. It's like all agricultural area. But I really found this really profound, just like the numbers that I found when it comes to rent. Um, you know, so in this little like statistic I found, it says according to the Zumper National Rent Index, as of May 2024, these are the top 10 U.S. cities where rental costs are highest. Right. So guys, keep in mind these are 1 bedroom medium rent prices. This is not a 2 bedroom. This is not a 3 bedroom. It's not a house with a pool or jacuzzi. Like none of that. It's just a 1 bedroom apartment in these top 10 cities. All right. So so the number one spot, which I'm pretty sure you guys might know, or if you guys can take a guess. No, or actually I'll turn it around. I'll start from the top 10 all the way down. So in number 10, you have Los Angeles, California. And right now the median rent there is about $2,300. And I guess in the last year, the rent went down 5%. I assume because, with the whole, pandemic and stuff that happened, rents were higher. But right now in the 10th place, LA, Los Angeles, California is at 2,300 average rent for 1 bedroom. That's crazy.
One bedroom, you guys. Jesus Christ.
1 bedroom. Yeah. Yeah. And that's just, that's like a 1 bedroom apartment. Um, Not too far away actually from here. I'm about a couple hours away. So LA is a very, if you guys have been to LA, it's a super chaotic city. It's a lot of traffic. That's where Hollywood is, but it's expensive. It's crowded. There's crime as well in some areas as well. So yeah, LA takes the number 10 spot for that one. Number 9 is Washington, D.C. at 2,300. Number 8 spot is San Diego, California, about 2 hours from here where I live, around $2,370 for a one-bedroom apartment. And the number 7 spot is Arlington, Virginia. It's on the East Coast, about $2,380. San Jose, and the number 6 spot, San Jose, California, which is close to the Bay Area. Average one-bedroom rent goes for about $2,570. The number 5 spot is in Miami, Florida, for a one-bedroom apartment, $2,770. The number 4 spot is Boston, Massachusetts, is at $2,830 for rent. Right now, we're going into the top 3. So in the 3rd spot, you have San Francisco, California. Again, that's up in the Bay Area, where average rent for a one bedroom is $2,950.
Where's that? San Fran?
San Francisco. Yeah, San Francisco. I have a family member that lives up in Redwood City, which is close to San Francisco, in the city of Redwood City. This was probably 6 years back. I remember we did a visit. They had recently bought a house for $500,000, but this house was like a 50-year-old house and no more than 2,000 square hundred feet for $500,000 at the time. So the prices over there are just crazy, just for living, for rent.
That's pre-pandemic, you guys.
This was pre-pandemic. This was before the spike of housing prices, which you've seen in the last several years. So that's San Francisco. Number 2 spot is Jersey City, New Jersey. Any of you guys that are from the East Coast, Jersey City, New Jersey is at $3,330 for a one bedroom apartment. Yeah. That's
straight an article, boy. Like
that's like more than, that's like what average people are making, more or less, like in a month. Like, you're just throwing all your rent, or you're throwing all your money to rent, basically.
Okay, quick math, you guys. So 3 Gs, slightly above 3 Gs. That means so they say you want that to be about a third of your income. That means you need 10 grand a month. How much is that a year? $120K a year. How many motherfucking people are in New Jersey making $120K a year? Not all of you.
No. If you're lucky, I don't know if, and I guess the argument would be like, but they're just high paying jobs, and, you got, high paying fields, but it's like, it's just so absurd how expensive it is, for that kind of rent, for that kind of money to pay. So,
and let me guess number 1. We probably are all going to guess the same. New York. Oh my God. I'm right. Manhattan, New York.
You got it right. So
what's
so for New York City, it's New York City in the state of New York, average rent for a one bedroom apartment right now is $4,200. Guys, $4,200. Also, to give you some context with that number, according to the statistic I saw, it says rents in New York are rising 7 times faster than wages due to a shortage of affordable housing. 7 times.
You guys, this is, I mean, uh, I have no words for this shit. I mean, I don't know. I don't know.
It's yeah, and I don't know, I guess with if it comes to, the influx of people, right? Because there's been that issue where you have the influx of people, the laws in New York, but $4,200, that is like daylight robbery, in my opinion. That's
Yeah.
daylight robbery.
Yeah.
Um, and I don't know about you, Ryan. I've never visited New York. Um, I've never been to New York, right? I haven't visited. I've heard mixed things. I heard some people say, oh, they really love New York. Some people, they didn't like it because it's a big city and this and that. But $4,200 for rent, like to rent a 1 bedroom, and it's an apartment, like you're living in a concrete jungle. That's just, yeah. I don't have any. I don't have words to put together, when it comes to that kind of statistic.
Yeah.
So yeah, but just to give you context, I know Ryan had shown you guys that video of the housing in Paraguay, right? Just as an example of how much housing costs, like in the country of Paraguay. And when you do the math, like when you actually break down the numbers, a lot of times housing in other countries, it's not as abusive in terms of the cost of it. Yeah, I mean you have the US, maybe you have some parts of Europe, um, maybe Asia, not Southeast Asia, but like maybe Japan and places where it's more expensive, right? Because the economies are more developed, the more advanced. And for those reasons, prices do go up. But just, the comparison when you see other places, in Paraguay, how Ryan has shown houses for like 100,000, 120,000, right? And it's a house, it's a big house. It just, it gives you it gives you a perspective of like, man, like, your money goes a lot further in these places, as far as when it comes to real estate, right? Same thing with Mexico. Although some parts of Mexico, I will say, are a bit inflated, but you could still find really good deals. Like I know I have a friend of mine, shout out to Lucas if you're watching this video. He recently visited Merida, the city of Merida, Yucatan, in the state of Yucatan. That's where they actually had finished developing the Mayan train. And right now there's land there that's very affordable. Land that's costing around maybe 60,000 pesos, which is about 5 grand, like no more than 5 grand. I mean, for less than 100K, you can build a house, you know. So it's just so insane when you're seeing the housing, the cost of rent in the US compared to a lot of other places. Um, and I don't know. I mean, I don't know where it goes from here, if it goes up, if it continues going up, or it may go down a little bit. Because really, I mean, the rents are not going to keep up with the wages aren't going to keep up with the rents. That's the truth. I mean, you're not really. I mean, federal minimum wage is at what, $7.25.
Mhm.
And say most people, if they're lucky, they're making $20 an hour. $20 an hour. You do the math, 40 hours a week. That's what, $800. You're making $3,200 a month, right? And I just showed in the number two, right? In number two, Jersey City, average rent is $3,330. So it's like it's just so profound, just the cost of rent and everything. So
Yeah, no, absolutely, man. I mean, and this is runaway crony capitalism at its finest. You know what I mean? You would think that some of these cities would have some kind of I don't know, rent credit, tax break, some fucking shit for regular people. I mean, go as far as to like benefit the shit out of even living couples, married people, families. I mean, give them as many tax breaks as humanly fucking possible. At least that's the least you could do.
Yeah.
Which the child tax credit across the board, no matter what political affiliation you were, was incredibly popular. So when that went away, that was a big hit for families. But so I'm looking at places between $400 and $600 for rent, and I'm looking at 3-bedroom townhomes, some with pools, some not, and I'm looking at like high rise apartments, like with 2 bedroom, 2 bathrooms, like full suites, like rooms for $400 to $600. So that means, and honestly, and to even cut that down even more realistic, what I'm probably going to land at, I'm looking between 4 million guaraníes and 4,500,000. I really want to land at 4 million. So 4 million is about $520 a month, right? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pay everything up front for an entire year, probably either 9 months or to a year. So the way it works in Paraguay is you do have actually you can honestly you could probably even get rid of it, um, or even pay like half of it. But like they have the same thing as like a down deposit, in case anything were to go wrong at the end. So they hold on to that, which is just another rent or another month of rent, and then the only other thing on top of that is in Latin America, you pay half a month's worth of rent for the person that's helping you out to get to get your place signed in your name. Uh,
Does it
Similar
work? Does it work like a deposit?
that goes to the person that's helping you get rent. So that'll go to the person whatever helping you out. It's kind of like a realtor, but for renting, right? Here, there's like in the U.S., like especially in New York, like the people like charge you like application fees and all that dumb shit. Like this is like a closing cost. Like this, like you're in it, but you owe this person now. So which would for me would be a what, $250. Okay. So what I'm trying to say is that let's just call it $500 a month for me, right? So I'm if I want to pay cash for a year, I'm timesing that number by 13.5, right? And that'll include the entire year's worth, and then plus the extra month for the down or the deposit, and then then that half month for the person who's going to help me, uh, that agent or whatever, who's gonna help me, right? So all of that together, let's just actually here. I just had it in my head, but I don't want to.
Yeah, I get what you're saying because you're saying if it's 4 million guarani, which is around what 400 US. I actually might have it right here if I do the math.
Okay. Yeah. We're gonna assume I'm gonna pay $500 a month. I'm probably gonna land somewhere right there, though maybe a little higher, whatever. So at $500 a month, what it's gonna run me for an entire year, including that and including what the person needs to get, $6,750, right? So for a lot of people, that's 3 months rent for you. For some people, for me, that would be about a little like 5 6 months rent for me here. It's still half. And I live in a tiny piece of shit ass place. I mean, yeah, piece of shit, but you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I don't got a ample balcony with my fucking own like grill in the wall. And like I don't got like a big old pool that I could step out into. I
And
don't
you show me the pictures, right? I mean, there's homes that they have like a full set, like a pool, the grill for like asado, like
yeah.
or some that are apartments that have a view. I mean, good luck finding that in Miami. Good luck finding that anywhere in San Diego. I mean, heck, in San Diego. Good luck finding that anywhere along the coast.
Yeah, so exactly, man. And like, I bring up this $6,750 because Like for those of you who are living in those cities that Aaron just mentioned, or fuck it, you don't even have to live in that expensive of a city. Say you're just paying 2 G's, just 2 G's, right? Fucking, I don't know, right? That's still like, oh my god. But say, that's, I mean, that gives you a year of freedom. You know what I mean? That number. Um, once you figure that out, and then what? You're just stuck paying whatever little other bills that are much, much less too outside of the U.S. For 10,000 reasons. You know what I mean? But I mean, and this is what I mean when I say like you're in the U.S., you're just throwing away money all the time for everything.
Yeah.
It's not fair. It doesn't feel fair. You don't feel free at the end of the week. You don't feel like you really want to do much because you're like, if you're smart, at least you're gonna stay inside and do something like me and Aaron and be like, okay, well, fuck, at least I'm gonna save for something else.
Yeah.
Or you don't have to, or you just like, go out all the fucking time, not care about it, not think about it.
Put it on credit cards, like majority of people. I mean,
Oh yeah,
and everyone uses credit cards, but I mean, now everybody uses it for everything.
yeah, for the dumb shit.
Yeah.
Like, oh my god, dude, my ex used to tell me about a friend of hers. Bro, she would go to the dumbest shit just because, like, oh my god, we go to this like fucking what are they called? Like the pre-wedding girl parties before the fucking wedding.
The bridal shower.
Yeah, the fucking
Bridal
bridal
shower.
showers and shit. Out in like Las Vegas, like, oh, I got no money, but I'm gonna put out a credit card. I'm like, you're gonna put 5 fucking G's for like a couple days worth of fucking fun on a fucking credit card for that? And you got a kid at home, you single mother ass. You know what I mean? Like, girl, you need to put motherfucking shit up in his college fund. What are you thinking? God damn. Yeah, like, Jesus.
Yeah, no, it's just the way the system set up. It's for people to just get trapped into it with credit card and overspending and lifestyle and all that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's crazy. I think another thing to kind of segue into another topic, aside from cost of rent, right? The cost of living is healthcare, right? So, and actually, before I give this stat, I was just telling Ryan about this, that so I went to an urgent care. Let's just say the first of the month. I went on the first of the month when my insurance was activated, right? I got a new insurance. I have a new job at the moment, or I've had one for the last few months. So I got checked up, right? And I was really sick. My throat was like, I couldn't speak. When I was seen at the urgent care, I ended up getting tested for strep throat, right? Because it was, it looked like I was going to get strep throat, but I just had infected tonsils, right? But because I had a new insurance, right? I had a new insurance. I was seen by the urgent care, which it's not necessarily like my medical doctor. It's just an urgent care. It's like you walk in and, hey, I have a sore throat. I have a scrape. I have a bloody nose. Like, any of those things that doesn't have to be seen by the emergency. So it turns out I got I won't show it entirely, but I got a medical bill earlier. So when I was seen at the urgent care, I had to pay $100 out of pocket just for like my initial. It's basically like a patient payment, just for me to receive services there at that urgent care. So I paid out of pocket. Everything else was covered from my insurance, right? Because if you don't have insurance, you're going to be paying out of pocket for everything. And I still got another bill payment for $84.78, which I actually had to pay. I actually went to go pay earlier today because, and they told me, they said, yeah, like it's good for 3 months, but if you don't pay, like we put it in collections, and that's when you can get, audited and that sort of thing. So the total cost for the service, right? Because I had a strep throat test on me. They did a swab test. I was prescribed 2 antibiotics, and I was given an injection. The total cost of it was $491. And out of the $491, my insurance, um, technically my insurance covered only like 320 because I still had to pay $179. They had a $5 credit there from this bill that I had, so I paid 79 on top of the 100. But just to kind of give you context, I mean, just the cost of those simple things, it can literally like you don't have insurance, it'll cost you like $500 if you have infected tonsils, if you have a cold or something, which is crazy. Just to kind of show you guys here a statistic that I found online. So it says that according to the Peterson Foundation, so listen to this. It says the United States has one of the highest costs of healthcare in the world. In 2022, U.S. healthcare spending reached $4.5 trillion. Now get this number, which averages to $13,493 per person. By comparison, the average cost of healthcare per person in other wealthy countries is less than half as much. So that's assuming that, let's just say, somewhere in Europe, right? Somewhere in Europe, right? A wealthy country, you're paying about half or less than half, right? We're assuming less than $6,500 for healthcare. Healthcare in the U.S., it's too expensive. I've heard a stat also as well, somewhere around there, that I believe we're ranked the 63rd or the 69th in terms of healthcare in the U.S. We're not the top 10. We're not the top 20 for sure. So I don't know what your thoughts are with that, Ryan.
That's fucking shameful. You know what I mean? Especially being the richest country. But yeah, I know we're behind every single other G7 country when it comes to healthcare, and every freaking developed country in the world. Yeah, it's incredibly shameful. This is stuff that should have been dealt with damn near 100 years ago. You know what I mean? Okay, whatever, 70, 60, 50 years ago, way before our time. But yeah, I had something so similar to happen to me too. When I went in, I have insurance too for dental, right? And I needed a filling because I'm dumb and I don't go to the dentist and stuff. So I haven't went in a long time. But anyways, I needed a filling. Went in. Well, actually, before that, I needed like X-rays and stuff. So that was the X-rays was pretty much covered. Small cost. Okay, whatever. Then I had something pop up in the mail. Okay, a little bit more for X-rays. Okay, well, okay, not that much. Extra like $20. Okay, and then I go in for my actual filling on a different date, and the day of, after I'm fucking loopy and shit, and like you just got my filling, they pay like $75. I was like, okay, yeah, I should have done this shit in Paraguay. Anyways, I paid it. I was like, okay, fuck it, whatever. My insurance covered the rest. Nope. Guess what? Got a bill in the mail. Ended up owing another like 112 or some shit like that. So it ended up being like a $200 thing, which I thought like, okay, well, I'll go for like 75. But nope, 200 American, and plus the X-rays and shit. And I'm like, Jesus Christ, like this is the shit I did not want out the door. And they didn't fucking explain that to me. And like, there's been a while since I've done any dental stuff. And like, and plus I've had different jobs, and I've switched up healthcare just like all of you guys have over the fucking years. And it's hard to stay on top of this shit, man. Like I was much more in tune with the job I had for like 5 years. So I'm kind of like still thinking, like, okay, well, this is going to be covered. And I had really, really, really good insurance actually at that point. But anyways, I don't anymore. And these things just creep up, man. Yeah, and I don't know, man. It's criminal. It's shameful. It's something our society shouldn't be dealing with. It's something our taxpayer dollars should go towards. I mean, get the fuck out of here. You know what I mean? But and then this is that. I mean, that's not even that political to say because I mean, right wing, left wing, we almost all agree on that too. That's not even something controversial as voters. Now the motherfuckers in Congress think it is, but it's actually not. It's incredibly popular.
Yeah.
Because nobody likes dealing with private healthcare and the fucking claims and all this fucking bullshit and administrative. Hell no. You know what I mean?
I think what's worse because when you think about it, I mean, I'm pretty sure in Europe or in some advanced countries like the U.S., your insurance is tied to your employer, right? Whereas in other countries, it's not as common as that. Like you can pay for a private insurance plan out of pocket, right? And your copays or your copays are a lot cheaper. Sometimes it's zero. That dental work that you had, what it was a filler, you said, like a filler for your teeth,
filler.
right? Mm-hmm. I mean, in other places, especially like where I'm from, located on the border in Mexico, I mean, you can get stuff like that done for as little as like $200, sometimes $300, $400, and they do a better job at times, and you get it quicker, right? I've gotten my teeth cleaned in Mexico for around $40 just for a checkup, like $30. A lot of people, in fact, close by it's in the state of Baja California, which is it's the town called Los Algodones, right? Which translates to cotton, the cotton. Los Algodones is super, super well known for their dental work because you get a lot of snowbirds, right? A lot of retirees from the Midwest, from the North, from Canada, when they're here during the summer months, and they get excellent, excellent dental service just by simply crossing to the border into Mexico. There's even some dental offices where they work with their insurance, even though it's like from the U.S. or from Canada, but the costs are significantly less. Way significantly less. I mean, it's night and day. Just healthcare, right? But yeah, I think healthcare is one of the things that people don't really like to talk about or just depends, right? To some people, it's like taboo, like because it is. I mean, it's something that it should not be monopolized. That's the word, monopolized. It shouldn't be monopolized. I mean, if healthcare is really for the people, right? Whether it's public or private, people that can afford to pay private insurance, it should not cost literally an arm and a leg to get healthcare. But in the U.S., I mean, that's the reality of it. Whether giving birth, breaking an arm, a lot of people, I've heard stories too where a lot of people are scared of simply going in the ambulance because they know that the cost of the ambulance trip is going to be in the hundreds.
Mm-hmm.
So,
or thousands. Yeah.
It's just crazy. Just the cost of healthcare in the U.S. So, but yeah, I thought that statistic was pretty interesting to share. And I've seen dental work in Mexico before, so I can attest to it that the dental work it's a lot more accessible, it's affordable. Doctors, right? Like even certain doctors that you want to be seen, I mean, it's a lot more accessible as well. Because in the US, it's super like bureaucratic in the way that you got to wait months for referrals and for your insurance and, this and that. With what kind of insurance you had because of your job. And well, it's just it's just night and day the difference when it comes to that. So, but yeah, I thought that was a good one. I think another thing to segue into, which for this one I didn't have a statistic necessarily, right? But I've seen online and posts, and I can attest to it as well from personal experience, is the quality of food. So I don't know about you, Ryan, but like the quality of food in the US compared to elsewhere. Um, I'll share a story. So 5 years back, actually around this time, 5 years ago, when I had the opportunity, I had the fortunate opportunity to go study abroad. I was still in school at the time. Uh, I had applied to some scholarships, right, for some extra money. And a friend of mine, she was going to be going on a study abroad trip. And I was like, oh, like I want to go. Like I definitely want to see what it's about, you know. And it turns out it was for a summer semester for 1 month in the country of Spain. So it was the first time that I had gotten out of the continent. First time going to Europe. So I can recall when I spent a month in Spain, as well as a weekend in Italy, in the city of Rome. I can recall being in Europe and obviously adjusting to the pace of life, to the food, the diet, because over there, like similar to his Latino or Hispanic food, um, I had like rice, I had pasta, stews, bread, which they eat a lot of bread. So I definitely had a lot of carbs: rice, pasta, bread, meats, vegetables, fruits, coffee, beer, water, tea, soda. But in that month, I lost about 20 pounds, like 15 to 20 pounds. I can recall, like I could literally feel it in my clothes. Um, but I learned later on that when I came back to the US after a month, because I had lost about 15, 20 pounds, my skin was more tan because I was out walking about 6 to 10 miles a day, right, in the city where I was in. I was in the city of Valencia, along the coast. And I literally remember the first week that I came back, within a week, I got instantly sick. And that had to do with because of the air quality of where I live in, because we live in fields and, there's pesticides and all that. I got sick within a week. And I started to gain back the weight that I had lost within like that month or two.
Mhm.
So I know that in other places, the diet is, the food is just so much more healthier. It's more organic. Obviously, if you're just like sitting around and eating potato chips, I mean, you're going to be a potato. But I mean, if you're like eating what you eat here normally in other places in Mexico, maybe in South America, I know, like Paraguay is really known for their steaks, right? For their red meat, their asados, right? And a lot of that beef is, I'm pretty sure it's not the same as in the US as far as like all these hormones and these GMOs and all that stuff. But that's something that I've noticed with the food when I've gone overseas, is that like whether it's been for a week or so, or when I've gone for a month, how my body adjusts to the diet, to the food, and to the diet. I don't know if from your experience, Ryan, you've experienced that, like going to Paraguay, as far as with the food over there.
Yeah. So re- actually living in the US, where I live in the Midwest, our food quality is actually quite a bit better than other places in the US. Like it's better than the East Coast and West Coast for sure. We have a shit ton of agriculture all around us. And I mean that goes for fruits and veggies and stuff. Minus all the tropical stuff, which actually has to come up from other countries or Florida, and then you're paying like $10 for a motherfucking OJ like this. Anyways, but even our meat is pretty damn good quality here in Wisconsin and stuff like that. We got a lot of farmers markets and all that. So it doesn't come from too far either, but South America is still better. um, and like Paraguay, it's actually a stat that's been making its rounds, but Paraguay, it produces 7 times the amount of food that the country actually needs. So it's exporting all the time. Now it doesn't produce absolutely everything, which I would love it to do, and it's gonna get there. It's gonna get there because there are smart expats, especially Europeans, who are agriculture fucking masters. And what they see is what Paraguay lacks, and because they have the same goals as me. I want Paraguay to be 100 motherfucking% like self sufficient, man. When it comes to all agricultures, I'm like, man, even if we're getting oranges across from Argentina or Brazil, why cut that out? Let's do it ourselves,
Mhm.
you know. And America, it used to be like that, right? But now, what do we focus on? Preserving things. We want shit to sit in trucks for fucking 1, 2, 3, 4 fucking 5 weeks, and then to get in the middle of a fucking New York Manhattan market or a Chi-Town market or a wherever South Cali market. You know what I mean? So we're more preservatives, more pesticides are spraying all over the fucking place. I mean, we're the home of pesticides, man. Like fucking what's that one that the one that had all the fucking lawsuits against it, DeSanto or
DeSantos from Florida,
uh, no, it's a
the
company.
politician.
No, I'm thinking of a company.
Oh,
Whatever, it doesn't matter. But like, I mean, and this stuff like makes like it gives people cancer, man. Like older people like suffer from this shit that these companies and like there's so many lawsuits going on right now, like in the South, like in Mississippi and Alabama and stuff. Like those poor folks, man. Like black, white, it don't matter, man. Like they like the rich, they're the ones who own these companies. They ain't living next to the fucking fields. They're in their mansion in the fucking hills over in these states.
mm-hmm.
They got that old money. Who's
Yeah.
suffering? People at the bottom. You know what I mean? Like environmental injustice goes so fucking far, man. And don't even get me started on that because I'll go off all day. But we're suffering too as the consumers. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like yeah, I remember even my brother was just like, because he's a doctor and like he's a cardiologist, but even back like before he did all of his schooling, he was like, man, how the fuck do they just like make some fruits just taste like other fruits? You know what I mean? Like, why the fuck does this apple taste like a fucking cherry?
Mhm.
Or like this, like, and then, yeah, yeah.
Or why is it why another thing I've noticed when I've gone to Mexico, to El Salvador, to Spain, is like the size of the fruit and the taste. Like a lot of times the size, it's why I in El Salvador I've seen mangoes that are like this big as well, but I've seen fruits that they basically go bad within a day or two, right? Like in Spain, I remember eating fruit that within a day turns brown, or eating lettuce and a little worm comes out or something, because it's obviously rotten away because it doesn't have those preservatives. Whereas here, the preservatives, the food can last several days up to a week, sometimes 2 weeks. Um, but yeah, just the flavor, the taste, and health wise, I mean, just consuming it, it's not the same.
So let me give you an example. This is a perfect banana, right? This is the United States of America. Probably where's this fucking from? Whatever.
Ecuador,
Yeah, it's from somewhere in God damn it,
South America.
Central, right? So it's probably whatever, Guatemala, whatever. These are industrial, like, but because these regions actually naturally produce these, the local farmer right next door, his bananas don't look like this. They'll be
Yeah.
smaller. They'll be more like just discolored. I mean, this is getting a little bit old, but the point is that this like is it made to look like this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like in Paraguay at the store, a real fucking banana is tinier than that. It's gonna have some imperfections, but you can fucking taste the realness
Mhm.
of it, and it's amazing. You know what I mean? Um, and and these last like a fucking week sometimes. But like you were saying, like in other places, like real fruit, nah, man, it won't last that long. You got
Yeah.
to eat it right away,
Yeah.
which goes back to preservatives and all that shit. You know what I mean? Like what are we doing? How are we even making this? And like fuck, I mean fuck preservatives. Like even from the get go, like they whatever do stuff to to make it look like perfect. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, man, no, you can tell absolutely instantly, fruits and veggies and all that stuff. Um, yeah, there are some of the industrial issues that exist up in North America, but here it's like corrupted everywhere. You know what I mean? It's like across the board. Corruption is the norm. Down there, it's like, yeah, it's just here and there. Because these regions are naturally growing these things. So, well, and well, I don't want to go too far into history and all that, but like America doesn't just have like a lock on like production in the middle of South America, like it might in Central America or in parts in Mexico, or like you know, or
Maybe the
Hawaii for
Hawaii.
yeah, so like but the banana wars was a real fucking thing and all that, but like but that didn't go all the way down to all of South America. It didn't touch everywhere. And so you're gonna have more regional players. They don't all do this. Not everybody's just like trying to always just gain as much profit. And if 20,000 people are poisoned to death, like you know, and I'm not saying that these companies are fucking perfect down in South America either. There's a lot of shitty, terrible Brazilian companies, Chinese companies. I mean, there's man fucking Paraguayan companies. There's a lot who like to maximize profit. They don't give a shit about outcomes and stuff.
Yeah.
But like America across the board is just corrupt, man.
Yeah.
And our European brothers point this shit out to us. Like you were saying, the moment you get off the fucking plane, you can already tell. The moment I get off the fucking plane, I can already tell. You know what I mean? Same thing. You go to Southeast Asia, you can already fucking tell. You know, you feel like you're gonna live longer life.
Yeah.
And you will.
Yeah. I mean, your health across the board. I mean, you've heard the saying, health is wealth. If you don't feel great, if you don't feel healthy, I mean, it's gonna affect in a lot of facets in your life. As far as with, being productive or being able to move, being able to be healthy. I've even heard something that, if I'm not wrong, I think there's like approximately there's something like 300 chemicals, or yeah, something like 300 chemicals that that the European Union has banned. And those 300 chemicals, they use them in the US. Those chemicals and pesticides. So that means that like those 300 chemicals and pesticides, like as far as if we're in the US, or if you're in the US, like we're consuming that no matter what. And then the thing too is, another thing I was gonna say is, organic food or like healthy food is expensive in the US. It's super expensive. To try to like really eat healthy or whole foods or like all this stuff, like it's gonna hurt your wallet for sure. Not compared to other places where you can eat your regular food and it's healthy and it's affordable. So, but yeah, I thought food was another good topic to cover.
Just real quick, if you want more info on Paraguayan food, I think that might actually be my longest chapter in my first video. I actually do take a pretty deep dive into food. In my very first video on my channel. So if you're interested in Paraguayan stuff, go check that out. I don't go deep into like the reasoning and all that. I just like, this is it, and then this is it, and then this is what's great, and this is what falls off trees, and you know what I mean. So, anyways, yeah. So what's our next, Aaron?
I'm really just thinking on the spot at this point, but there's a question that came up to me just right now. When you get to Paraguay, what is something you want to see in Paraguay in the next 5 years? Like, what is something that you envision? It could pertain to you, right? Or it can pertain to the region or to the country. What's something that you want to see Paraguay, whether improve or change or excel in the next 5 years?
I need Paraguayan salaries to go up. I need my country and my people's salaries to go up. Inflation hit the entire world. And yeah, Paraguay's been making a little bit of progress, but not enough, man. Not enough. And I know that like when I do my channel and we are speaking to expats, people coming from across the world with dollars, euros, Australian dollars, Canadian dollars, whatever. But never forget the people that you're going to who are going to host you, man, because their quality of lives depend on everything too. You know what I mean? That's going on in the country. There are improvements though, like there's the national lunch program that like rolled out in Paraguay, like pretty much like we're not gonna let any kid like go hungry in schools, which is fucking amazing. Like, well, we're not even to that point here in the U.S. You know what I mean? And so Paraguay and some countries do shine when they really set their mind to stuff like that. But man, it has to be wages, dude. And it's the same shit I would say up here. You know what I mean? If you can't fix inflation, which you can't, um, I don't know, maybe you could do some like little things like I was just saying, like tax credits and stuff to maybe even things out, but that still doesn't keep you where you need to be. There needs to be, I don't know, man. And I know that this is like market forces controlling a lot of this stuff and like but then again, I don't exactly agree with like the whole California like just raising wages just for like this tiny segment, like for example the
The
fast food
fast food, yeah,
thing,
the
because
$20 fast food, $20 minimum wage for fast food earners.
for me it needs to be across the board. Don't just do it by
Industry.
industry or whatever, because I mean there's so many negative consequences. I mean that'll just make the fucking prices go up, and then they'll cut those same workers hours down, so then it
Mhm.
doesn't even make sense anymore. Because if they're gonna be in their minds these corporations fucked over by the government,
Mhm.
then they're gonna find a way to fuck over the employees that are working for them. So
Yeah.
it has to be well thought out. If you are gonna do, which like we do need a federal minimum wage. Are you kidding me? It's still what, 7.25? Are you
Mhm.
fucking kidding me? We just
Yeah.
went over what it takes to live in some of these cities, which what, seven of them are in California, the top 10.
About three on the list. It's about three of them. It's San Diego, San Jose,
Okay,
and San Francisco. Yeah. Oh no, it's four of them, and Los Angeles.
so there's
Yeah.
four. Okay, so like almost half
Yeah.
are in Cali, right? And the rest are the East Coast, pretty much.
Yeah.
um, you know, and honestly, I'll just be honest, man. Like in inflation and like my rent prices, like a lot of you guys are like probably make fun of me, like, oh man, he doesn't pay shit for his rent, which like I know you guys probably say that because like I'm at 1,200 and stuff, but you guys gotta understand, man. Just like pre-pandemic, this fucking place would have been like 850. Like so, like that's still like fucking 350 within like what, 4 years. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and like on the west side, right before I was living here on my time, like I was paying, yeah, 850, and it was like the same. Well, actually a little bit bigger than this, but it was very common 45 years ago in my city to have an apartment, one bedroom, for around 800. You could even land some places for like 700. You know what I mean? 900. And in fact, like pre-pandemic, right before pre-pandemic, because that's when I was literally started moving here. Like I was like, oh man, 1,000? No, man, fuck that. I don't want to pay 1,000. But then like I know that like across the country people are paying like well over that. But
Two
still,
thousand, 3,000.
still can hurt you, man. Because we don't got the highest wages here. They don't pay us that well. Even working for the motherfucking state, even working for the motherfucking school districts, they don't give a shit, man. Like they underpay teachers, they underpay professionals, and every single thing, man.
Yeah.
So, anyways, back to Aaron's question about my country, though. Yeah, dude. I mean, it has to be salaries. Um, the rich are doing the right things. They're investing in the right things. That's why you see, you know, uh, high rises going up,
Mhm.
infrastructure getting better, and fucking brand new Puente de Chaco, the bridge, brand new bridge out in Asuncion is built. They're even making proposals to expand the airport.
There.
The highway systems are going to connect to every other country in Latin America now. I mean, it's like that kind of stuff is going to take care of itself.
Yeah.
maritime trade is going to even expand even further because of the Uruguayan and Paraguayan deal. So like that kind of stuff will take off. But those are the big players that are benefiting from that stuff, and a lot of us expats who are going and whatnot. But I just really need to see it for the locals, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because and you guys will see this too, because you start dating and stuff. You know what I mean? You're gonna hear these stories, man. Like, hey, I'm a teacher, and you're gonna be like, wow, damn, that's fucking good for you, man. And you went to school over there? Hell yeah, good for you, girl. You know what I mean? $400 a month. You know what I
Wow.
mean? Or some shit. So around that,
Around that.
3 to 5, maybe 6 if you're really up in your years or something like that. And so, like, you're gonna see this. It's gonna affect you, whether it like directly affects you or indirectly or something like that. And then, I mean, you're men anyway. You're gonna want to provide and all that stuff anyways. But that's just an idea, like it's there. It's very there's a big misconception that like all Latinas want to be mothers and home caring for the family, which
Mhm.
there's a very big percentage, especially in comparison to the U.S. and other Western countries. But I would say that even the majority of younger women want to do something. They want to, whether they, like my girl, for example, she has her nail salon. No matter how much money I have, she's still gonna have her nail salon. Why? Because she gets interaction with her female clientele. She gets to get outside of the crib. Now, I would, if we were to get serious and then like have a family and all that stuff, I would say, okay, well, you need to cut back on hours because we need both of us to be at home
Yeah.
more. You know what I mean? But so maybe turn this into a part time thing. But they would like Paraguayas, especially like my niece, for example. She's 16, about to turn 17, and like she's already making her art projects and selling those and stuff. So like there's like Paraguayas have the entrepreneurial spirit, man, just as much as men, if not even more. Like and so a lot of you guys might find the one who's just absolutely perfectly fine, like being like a housewife and all that stuff. But there's a lot of girls who are gonna be like, well, I still want to do something like that gets me away from the crib. They're like
Mhm.
mostly working probably with their female clientele. I mean, if you guys know anything about Latin America, or if you haven't been, like, there's like peluquerias. What am I saying, Aaron? There's a hair
Hair
salon.
salons. Hair
There's
salons.
hair salons like every fucking block, dude. Like, because like Latin American women, they spend a lot of time looking good, man.
Their nails, their hair,
It's the
everything.
same with gyms. Gyms are everywhere, dude. Even 10 years ago now, because like I don't know how much people know this, but like it's not just about a wife, but like there's a big fitness culture in all of Latin America right now. And like I think a lot of it has to do with like the competition, man, men and women. You know what I mean? Like because you gotta understand too, like the men up in our countries, bro, they're fucking Chad on Chads, bro. They're playing dog. They ain't no big guys like playing football. You can like kind of get away with having a little bit of fucking extra stuff on you. Now
Yeah.
they're the top athletes in the motherfucking world, dog.
Yeah. Oh no, it's true. I mean, or like Paraguay, Argentina, Brazil, they soccer players, like very athletic culture, so
Yeah, you guys.
yeah.
So like, your average athlete down there in some of these countries, fucking even up out of Hawaii, bro. Like they're like, they're the male model types, like
Yeah.
ads, like they'll put
So the
some ads up here to Shane, dog. Like, you know what I mean?
competition is fierce though. I thought it was kind of a good segue because I found a stat also. This was one of the ones I had saved where I thought it was interesting where they say that Paraguay is among the highest in fertility rates in the world or in Latin America.
Hmm.
So to give you a perspective, like with other countries, and I think we covered it on the last video, right, with world population. But like for total fertility rates, India has 2.03, Argentina has 1.8, Australia 1.7, USA 1.66, Brazil 1.64, Chile 1.54, the UK 1.49 and Canada 1.43. But in Paraguay, the total fertility rate is an average of 2.4.
Mhm.
So it's a lot higher, right? So I just thought that was something interesting to kind of put in there as well. Kind of like you were saying with the women and how family is a big thing and everything,
Oh
which
yeah.
yeah, I mean, and I think tying to like healthcare to cost of rent, cost of living. I mean, having a family, like it's hard in the US. I mean, it's doable, but it's almost undoable with the way wages are and just you it's a lot harder. And obviously in other places it's not that it's not as hard, but I mean it's a little more feasible, I would assume.
Well, yeah, and we always, rightfully so, we point out the economics first to that, right?
Mhm.
Uh, but it's more than that. It's cultural too. So
Culture.
I can sit down with my woman, right, and be like, look, this is how we're gonna have to like navigate life in order to do this family thing. We're gonna have to like childcare, like that, bro. That's like almost an unheard of thing in like my country. Like
Mhm.
like true childcare, like tens of thousands of mothers just dropping their children off to a stranger's place. Bro, no, they're going to abuela's crib. They're going to auntie's crib down the street. They're gonna
Mhm.
be with your cousins and stuff. You know what I mean? And so like these are the things you plan out, and then plus like you can have more realistic conversations. Which I was just saying too, like hey, like hey baby girl, we're gonna need you to be at home more because our kids are young, which means let's cut down the hours here, but don't worry, I'll pick up the hours and stuff, on my end or whatever the fuck, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
But those conversations are way easier because
yeah,
here I've had those conversations here. It's like, well, what about, but I need to invest in my career, and what about me, and I need to live here at this house, and I'm like, we can't afford that fucking house. What are you talking about? Like
yeah,
that house right there is gonna put us in fucking
yeah.
bankruptcy.
We can't afford that wedding.
Yeah,
Don't forget the wedding.
but oh yeah, fuck, I didn't bring out the wedding. But I'm comfortable here, and I need to stay here. And this is the neighborhood that I'm like, you haven't even seen the other neighborhoods in my city yet.
Yeah,
You've only been in my city for the last 5 years. I've lived here my whole life. Hey, let's go
yeah,
check them out one day. Yeah, I
yeah,
mean, it's all just like fucking feelings, dude. And I'm like, look,
yeah.
like, yeah, it's and you have those just constant battling mindsets of like, I'm trying to think of it the most logical way I possibly can without getting overly emotional about it. You jump
Mhm.
straight to emotion. I know this is not all women, but this is a lot of younger women here in the US. And like, but you can have these conversations much easier with like with girls where we're from, man, because they're like, okay, yeah, that makes sense. Fuck, we don't got that much money. All right, let's do this. Let's see where family can help here. And then we're gonna obviously like, try to reciprocate that same stuff, you know what I mean? And and yeah, I point out that yeah, I am moving to Paraguay for mostly economic reasons, but there are a lot of like familial reasons, like bro, like I said once, like in a 1 kilometer radius, right? Like I have at least like two or if not 3 dozen family members, you know what I mean? That like all of them would just be like absolutely thrilled to like if I were to have kids and like little ones like run away to like see them, take care of them, they can hang out with cousins. I wouldn't have to worry about it and all this stuff. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? But yeah, man.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean it's a big it's more, and I think what Ryan is saying too, it's something that I resonate to. I think it's more, I mean, economics is the main reason, or it could be one of the biggest reasons, right? Economics. But I think it kind of trickles down to everything else, right? It trickles down to your health. It trickles down to saving money. It trickles down to having a cultural experience, a different pace of life as opposed to in the US, because everything's like fast paced, right? Even in Europe, when I was in Europe for a month, I noticed how, and Europe is a developed part of the world, but people still learn how to work to live, as opposed to in the US, we're all about living to work. We got to work 7 days out of the week, 365, overtime, extra hours. you know, where, in other parts of the world, like work is an important thing. I'm not saying it isn't. There's hardworking people that I've met um, in Mexico, in El Salvador, in other places, but it's just, I guess, the mindset or just the pace of everyday living. Um, but that's something I think that, like Ryan said, is true. It's more than just the economics. It's more than that. It's everything else that kind of falls into place. Everything else that has an effect, right? Your stress, your health, right? Just and then also with cultural, right? More of a cultural time, cultural um, quality of living. So, but yeah, it's a huge thing.
Yeah. Yeah, man. And it's like we spend most of our lives just like so focused on us. So what do we need? What do I need? What do I need? What do I need? And that's like you're gonna have to sacrifice, which like other people around the world already know that. But like us, it's like, oh my God, I gotta give up all my freedoms. It's like, yeah, no shit, dude. You're not gonna be the youngest generation on this planet forever. You're gonna have to step it up if you want to be a parent one day. You're gonna sacrifice. You know what I mean? No, you're not gonna be able to go to all your little fucking Las Vegas excursions with all your girlfriends every single time that you and your half dozen fucking or no 2 dozen
Don't
fucking friends who
don't forget the Miami trips.
who you haven't even seen in fucking 5 years and they all talk shit about each other, but you're gonna go to each other motherfucking bachelorette parties and shit. And I'm like, bro, believe me, man. I swear to God, dude.
Yeah.
Like in the city where I grew up, man, I grew up around more humble people, so I didn't there's some richness around some of the cities and the suburbs and stuff of where I live, but a lot of people don't know this, but like northern Wisconsin, a lot of people just think like, oh, like fields, whatever. Nah, dude, the rich and like the real wealthy, man, who have like the land claims and titles and generations worth of fucking shit up there in northern Wisconsin. Like they have like some of the richest schools, the richest people, the brattiest attitudes, the most like singular minded, just individualistic ways about going about life, and they're all just trying to like show each other up. It's like the fucking like Desperate Housewives or what, like is that kind of shit. But in
Keeping
northern,
up with the Jones. Keeping up
yeah,
with the
oh
Joneses.
man, that exists so much more than outside of the city. You would think that is actually in the city, but then the city is mostly university and then just humble ass people trying to like make it.
Yeah, trying to survive essentially.
Yeah, yeah, man.
Yeah.
This is crazy, man.
Wow.
But
But I'm really excited, Ryan, that what your next chapter is going to be like these coming weeks. Being in Paraguay and all that. And I think a lot of your subscribers or those that have been following him or following you, um, that's going to be pretty. It's going to be a big change in your life. Like it's going to be huge. And like you said, like how I also said, like there's going to be a lot of bumps on the road, and it's not always going to be easy and sunshine and rainbows, but um, it's going to be worth it for sure.
yeah.
Worth it.
Well, thanks for that, man. Thank you. No, definitely, man. I might put out one video like right before I leave, like maybe like a day or two out, just to like get everything out there.
Mhm.
But nah, man, this has been like I told you guys, this has been a fucking journey, dude. A pretty lonely journey, dude. Like motherfucking going out every goddamn weekend and celebrating every fucking shit. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
There'll be a little bit of celebration once I get there. Y'all witness it and all that. That's what the saving up was for, man. And you'll see some of my family life, like with the wedding that I'm gonna be at first. I don't know if my girl's gonna come to that and or not, but we'll see. But but I don't care, man. Either way, it's gonna be dope. I will bring that up, man. Maybe some of y'all saw on Instagram or whatever, but like, nah, man, me and my girl down there, we're gonna reconnect and all that, which I'm happy, man, because I didn't, to be honest, man, at this age, I don't really like to be like out there just dating, Tinder, like fucking going out cold approach. I mean, man, yeah, that shit was funner, like in my earlier years, but You know, man. And I don't know if I'm gonna work out with her. But like, I don't know. It don't even really matter. But the point is, like, I'm gonna be jumping in a little bit more stability. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Than I than
Yeah.
I than I was like, I don't know, planning on. But which is good. Which is good, man. Keep me a little bit more grounded and stuff. But yeah, man, fucking man, like it's just this is a journey. You're gonna see a lot about Paraguay. Probably a lot you're gonna see on my channel that you won't see in other channels and stuff. Like and I'll be bringing up some stuff. There's one video I want to do for you guys, like what not to say in Paraguay. I've learned over the years some of the things not to do. Just simple stuff like even words that you wouldn't think are can,
Offensive?
could be offensive or like people could take it the wrong way, kind of stuff like that.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
and stuff that you should say and like how to close the deal on a girl and all that. Like when you're ready to like take it back and all that. Like I'll be going over that kind of stuff too, man. Because I've had to bring it up with a couple of you guys who were like hitting me up in IG and stuff. And it's like, oh man, how do I do this or whatever? And I'm like, okay, this is how you seal the deal, but don't do it right away, motherfuckers. Like,
Yeah.
like well, he
Yeah.
told me, motherfucker, don't
Don't
be.
jump to it.
There's a reason I'm speaking English, dog. Come on, man. Get it out this way. Oh man, no, it's gonna be cool though, man. And plus, you're gonna see the fucking beauty, man. Even if I do just give my thoughts, bro, I'm gonna be doing so many walk and talks, man,
Yeah.
around where I live and around the neighborhood, around the city I'm living in Yembi. But I'll be like in San Lorenzo Market. I'll be where my family lives in Capiatá. I'll be in the downtown too, meeting some of you guys who are hitting me up. Maybe do some interviews with some of you guys who wanna hop on. Once Aaron's there, we're gonna meet up in person and like get it cracking.
Mhm.
All that.
Also, Encarnacion is one place that you want to check out. You've told me about Encarnacion.
Woo, baby! Encarnacion Posadas trip, man. I'm planning on doing that. I'm probably gonna take August to get myself settled. And then September, I'm gonna probably be in Encarnacion and Posadas at least for a week. I'm already talking to my girl about that. Like we're like,
Mm.
man, it's gonna. And also, I guess I'll mention, man, I got a car down there. My lawyer told me is whip. Man, it's a 2000 Beamer, bro. Man, I got a good price on it too, man. So I'm gonna be riding
Oh,
out.
you're gonna be bumping the tunes with the windows rolled down.
Yeah, yeah. And it's white, man. It's 50 cents first car from Goodrich. Crying, bro. Oh my god, bro. It's like, ooh, but 5 years newer. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. Every 5 years newer.
Yeah, but no, but
5 years newer and cheaper.
the important part about this, guys, don't just talk to expats all the fucking time. You know why I got this car for such a good deal? Because man, I have a lot of connections. And with those connections, build respect over the check in on people, man. You know, my lawyer checked in me on New Year's. He was like, "Hey, man, happy New Year's." And I checked in on his birthday and stuff. You know, keep those relationships going, bro. You know what I mean? Like, I know up here everything's just business, right? Like, I wouldn't fucking give a shit about my lawyer who, like, helped me with some case over the years ago because, like, he was all just money, 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 American, American, American. But like down there, keep those relationships going, bro. You could have a sick ass car he wants to sell you. You know what I mean? And like for on the fucking low too. You know what I mean? But anyways, so yeah, guys, keep those relationships going. Talk to each other. Like me and Aaron are. You keep in touch with each other, man.
Yeah.
Oh, and one thing too, that I'll just mention last thing is a lot of you guys are smart, like really smart, and a lot of you guys have the right answers in your heart. And I've noticed this when I've done consultations with some of you guys. Just trust in yourselves. like yeah, I can confirm a lot of stuff for you, or I can like answer as much questions as I can, or if I don't have the answer, I'll like look into it and then get back to you or whatever. But if I'm being honest, I mean, you guys are like 80 to 90% of the way there. And even if you're this far into like Paraguayan content, people go to Paraguay, hitting me up for consultations, hitting me up on Instagram, like you're already like, your mind is probably already there. And at that point, you just need to start trusting your heart and just taking action. And a lot of you guys already are. I'm not really preaching to too many people. I think that in years' time, some younger people will really get on this stuff. Like I think like Austin Holloman and like yourself, Aaron, once you put more content about your story, and then like once people start seeing like your progression of your life, that'll like, get younger people to wake up. Younger people do need to wake up more than older generations. It's much more urgent for us. We don't have stuff. We don't have assets like our parents did. We don't have the ability to even save like our parents did. We don't have the ability to do a lot of things.
Yeah. And we still have time, at least some time. Yeah.
Yes, we have time and the motherfucking internet, dog.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
the internet.
If you look up the right stuff, if you teach yourself the right stuff, you spend a little bit of money here on some like subscriptions on the right stuff. Mm-hmm. Not no old fans, you motherfuckers. Oh my god, bro! I can't even believe I have to say that shit out loud, but it's so true. Oh my god, some of you guys are just so lost.
Should not be going to.
Hopefully, not too many people will find that channel. But I guarantee you, there's just like the bug-eyed freaking incel just in their basement, just dwelling, haven't went upstairs for like 20 days type shit. I'm just like, man, please, for the love of God, dude, start like at least the most basic self-improvement, and then work your way up to all this other stuff. But yeah, you guys, I'll probably shut up now. Aaron, you got any last words for us? Oh yeah, and check out Aaron's channel, you guys. I'll put the link and all that.
Yeah. No, I mean, just some closing thoughts. I mean, it's I think like you said, just trust, for those who are looking at with or have spoken to Ryan, like myself included, just have a plan set in place. I have a plan as far as like a visual plan. I actually have one filled out as far as what my goals are, as far as saving money, selling stuff, transitioning into a certain career at the moment, if it's not remote, right? If it's hybrid to some extent, but just having a goal or a visual board or like a roadmap, which I did recently because I'm in the private group with Austin and Beta, right? That was just like, it just 10x my motivation as far as, okay, like I have set in place, okay, this is the budget, like this is how much I would need to save, this is how much it would cost for a month, for a 2-week trip, right? And all those things. So having a plan, like taking action and instead of theorizing and, because you can only research and also you can only theorize and all this stuff for so long. But at some point you got to pull the trigger. You got to take that risk, take a trip. And even if it's not Paraguay, it can be anywhere else. Go see that place. Go visit that place for a week, for 2 weeks. I've done it myself in Mexico. When I was in Spain, obviously I had, the opportunity to study abroad, but there, or like El Salvador, I loved El Salvador when I went. I don't know about living there or investing there, but I mean, it was a good experience to see El Salvador. And so any country, right? Colombia, Brazil, like, I think the smart thing to do, and I think Ryan has mentioned it, like take trips down there and see if it's for you. If you feel like it fits your needs, it fits your wants, and most importantly, it fits your goals. So, just do it. Just do it. Take it one step at a time. One step at a time. So,
hell yeah, dude. One step at a time. This takes a long time. It can not only a lonely journey, but there could be a lot of people giving you a lot of opinions that you're not gonna want to hear, man.
Yeah.
I guess, try to hear them out the best you can, but at the end of the day, dude, this is your decision. This your decision 1,000% over. And like, and plus, like, I was talking to my dad, but like, I consider myself like already having my midlife crisis, and like, but I do kind of say that seriously, or epiphany, like we've talked about, whatever you want to call it, but like, I just felt like that was just at such a crossroads at 31 years old. And I know actually that's why I'm not really playing when I say midlife crisis, because a lot of us, indigenous blood and black folks and people of color, we don't have as many years as we think we do all the time. You know what I mean? So unfortunately, like some of our 30s might be our midlife crisis, you know what I mean? Or even earlier. Unfortunately, that's just the way it is, you know what I mean? Whether it be like the things that we talked about, environmental energy, all that stuff. But I just felt I had a crossroad. I need to make a decision. If I stay here, I will slowly rot. I will slowly become more and more and more unhappy. If I take a chance, do something in life, I'll go 1,000,000,000%. And
Not look back.
things. I'll tell you guys about it, and then hopefully some of you will come on and join with me. uh, man, yeah, dude, bro, like fuck it. Even if it's not Paraguay, obviously I'm biased as shit. I say that all the time, but even if it's not Paraguay, bro, like whatever, dude, make it somewhere, man. But make it make sense. Make it make sense for the long term, not just short term. Like a lot of guys get to the Philippines and they realize, oh shit, I can't own land. I have to live in a condo for my entire life. Unless you get a wife and then she can put it in her name. But I know a lot of you guys are kind of like that, don't really like that. So you know what I mean? Yeah. So just think about the long-term stuff, And by the way, you can have your own everything under your own name, no matter what. And then, so that's why like some guys like, oh yeah, I really love the Philippines. The women are absolutely amazing, but I can't own a fucking thing here besides a condo. And or businesses are much harder. Yeah, or whatever like that. And it's like, okay, well then you thought through part of it, but you didn't think through all of it. You know what I mean? And that's why go to the countries where you can think through all of it. And I know that Spanish is a barrier for a lot of you guys and stuff, or an obstacle, but whatever, man. That's a life journey, bro. You know what I mean? Life thing to take care of. So yeah, man.
I think well said, Ryan. I think that was like the closing, because
yeah, I was just about to say, I think that's it, man. I don't think I have done. Yeah, man.
I think we did hit an hour and a half. I don't know how long we hit, but no, I mean, well said. Like you said, I mean, it's got to be for the long term. It's seeing what is long term rather than short term. Short term is fine. I mean, short term fun is good, but I think long term, like you said, that's super important. Super important. Yeah.
Dude, one last funny thing though, I will say, I was because my sister, she knows my dating history overall. My sister in Paraguay, we're really close. We talk and all that. And I was like, man, she knows I dated Mexicanas, Colombias, Paraguayas, obviously, and stuff. And then I threw up in there the Philippines. She's like, what? The Philippines? Well, you never talked about the Philippines before. I'm like, well, I'm seeing all these guys who are marrying, getting a beautiful girlfriends and stuff. And I'm like, damn, man, I go to the Philippines. Like, damn, that's new for me. You never told me about the Philippines. I was like, yeah, man. Oh my God. So me and my girl, I'm going to the Philippines. You know what I mean? So this channel might be my best Philippines or some shit. Best Philippines. No, just playing with you guys. But all right, no. Anyways, but I just wanted to mention that because it was fucking hilarious. But all right, man. Well, hey, Aaron, thanks for joining us again on the channel. I can't wait till we actually meet up in person, man. But fuck it, we'll do another Zoom too. I'll probably be pretty busy that first month.
Yeah,
or not. I don't even know. No, I mean I will be, but
yeah.
But we'll figure out time to do this if we don't get in person right away. Mm-hmm. No matter what, man, we cover a lot of deep topics and important shit.
Yeah,
so yeah, man. Then check out the channel, you guys. But I think we're out for now, and I'll probably do one more video before I leave, just pure thoughts and all that shit, and then you'll see me my first week, man. It's gonna be cracking, bro. You're gonna see where I'm gonna stay. Ooh, wait, man, that's that condo, bro. Oh my God, bro, I can't wait to see it seeing the tropical sunsets go down. Man, it's gonna be cool, man. Shit, so
it's gonna be nice. It's gonna be nice.
Can't wait to eat the food and all that. So yeah. Anyway, all right, y'all. We're out. My Best Life Otherwise. Subscribe, like, share, all that good stuff. IG, Facebook, obviously here on YouTube. Aaron is the Hispanic expat, right?
Yep.
The
For
Hispanic.
now, that's my title
For now. He might change
For
up his
now.
thing.
I
Right?
don't know how many times I'm gonna change it. I only changed it once, but I don't know. I'll stick it to that.
Just don't make Hispanic expats great again or nothing like that.
No,
Motherfucker.
no. I'll just leave it like that.
All right, chill. All right, man. We're out. Peace.
All right.